Welcome back, guys, and today we are looking at the best sniping bot in EAFC. So if you're new around here and you need coins, you are in the right place. And of course, guys, we're still doing a giveaway of 7 copies of EAFC or 7 sets of FIFA points, whichever you want if you are a winner. So make sure to subscribe and head over to Instagram, send me proof, and you'll be entered in. But without further ado, let's get into the sniping. So if you guys are sick of losing at FIFA because your team isn't good enough or you're not good enough at the game, then right now you need to head over to skycoach.gg. Not only can they coach you in your weekend league or play your games for you, you can buy any amount of coins you want, and all of the services get 10% off right now with the code PRORECALL. Go check them out below. Make sure to click the link in the description, and let's get into it. So we are back, of course, with the best bot from FIFA 23, and they've got an update for EAFC 24. And of course, once again, you will never get banned on this bot. They have ban protection, and basically how it works is each snipe that you do is spaced out differently. So you have 5 seconds between one, then 4 seconds, then 2 seconds, and it makes it look like you're a human when actually it's a bot. And what that means is you never get banned, but you beat everyone to the snipe. So it's a win-win chance. Now, of course, on here, what we do have is some brilliant filters that you can use that you wouldn't usually be able to do. Of course, we've got the ability to snipe through things like rating, which you can't usually do on the game. And as you can see, there is a ton of additional settings here. We've got rating, we've got multi-rarity, we've got filter rotation, exclusions. I mean, filter rotation, essentially you can have multiple filters in here. So we click that on, exclusion active, filter rotation active. We can put 2 filters on at once and they can change between. Now, what we're going to use today is a filter from marquee matchups because it's the smartest thing to do. So we're going to go over to marquee matchups. Let's have a look what we need. In Arsenal versus Tottenham, you need a player from Arsenal or Spurs. Brilliant. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the sniping bot and we're going to have a look at players from Arsenal. I can imagine right now they are through the roof. So let's go Premier League, Arsenal. Of course, we're going to check them on the main transfer market first because that makes sense. Of course, by checking them there, we can work out what price we're going to pop them at. So Premier League, Arsenal, and what gold? Probably the rarity for that one. We'll go for gold. Let's pop that on. Is there anything? No. Brilliant. So we know this filter from the off is at least 1,000 coins per card. More than that, maybe even 2.5k. Let's have a look how high we're going to end up going for this one. 2,500 is looking like the cheapest. Let's have a look where the cheapest actually is sitting. 2.2 there. From the looks of things, 1.7, 1.8 is about the mark we're going to be looking at selling for. So 1.8 EA tax on that is 10% half. So 180 coins half, so it's 90 coins EA tax, which means we can pick them up at 1.6, but what we're going to do is pick them up at 1.5. So we're going to go over to the sniping bot. We're going to pop in that filter. Of course, we've got Premier League, Arsenal. We're going to pop the quality to gold. We're going to pop the buy now price max as 1,500. That does make sense. And then we're going to pop the minimum here. We don't need to pop in a minimum for this one. So 1,500 pricing settings. We're going to sell coins after tax. We will sell for 1,800. We're going to buy for 1,500, and it tells you in there how much profit you're going to make. So we make 210 coins as a minimum, so you don't even have to do the maths there as well, which is always nice. We're going to do purchase delay time between 2 to 5 seconds. Delay between multiple searches in one search is 500, so 500 milliseconds, which is half a second. You've got break settings of 15. So number of searches between breakpoints is 15. Break duration is 10 seconds. And then, of course, after a certain time, we have a minute break as well. So you've got number of minutes before taking a rest, 20 to 30. So maybe at 22 minutes, the bot will take a rest for 15 to 20 minutes. So once again, it's making you look like a human who's just taking a break rather than someone who is 20 minutes taking a break, and they're having a 10 second break. So everything's randomized to give you the ability to look always like a human and not a robot. So relist unsold items, what we can do there. And we'll have a look. Safe sniping is on, so that means if a ton of cards come up immediately, it will not buy them. So as you can see here, first of all, it's already started. So found 0 matches straight away, finding 0 matches. Of course, there aren't many cards on the game right now, so we're going to continue to do this until it finds a match. Now, if it doesn't, what we will do is I'll stop the bot, and then we take this up here. We can pop this to 1,600. So if we take off the minimum, so that might be what's affecting it. There didn't need to be a minimum, but that'll be because of the bots. That's my bad. I'm forgetting that. The bot sets a minimum, changes it every time, so the searches change. What we're going to do is we're going to stop the bot. We're going to change it to 1,600 just to be fair to ourselves. I think the profit is slightly different, so if we change that on here to 1,600, and then we're looking at 110 coins profit per card. So every single card we get 110 coins profit. We've got we've got Fabio Vieira, Tomiyasu already. So all it is it looked like maybe we were buying a little bit too low initially. So from that, you can see as well what profit you've made overall, which is always good. We've missed David Raya there for 1,600. We've then got Nketiah for 550 coins, so that is brilliant profit. We're on 1.4k profit already. So we've been literally running this for what, a minute, maybe less. very, very, very low amounts of time, and we're already making a ton of coins. So 2k in what, 30, 40 seconds. If you're doing that over an hour, you're looking at around 100k, and you don't have to do anything. Now, of course, we've missed Tomiyasu there for 500 coins, but you win some, you lose some. You're not going to win every single one. Now, what is good with these is, of course, you've got the Futbin integration. So if you have a filter which maybe has a bigger berth of players, where the players you're going to be picking up are going to go for more, and potentially as well, you might have, I mean, for example, Dembele and Mbappe. That would be a good one to use as an example. You've got PSG, French, and forward, and maybe minimum of like 300k. And you're going to be looking at Mbappe and Dembele. Now, Mbappe is going to be millions and millions of coins more. So if you pick up Mbappe for maybe, let's say, $1 million, right? He sells right now for about 5 million coins. Now, of course, that's going to change when the game comes out. But if you were to sell him at Dembele's price and set it up like I have here, where it just sells for a set price, then you're not going to be in a good position, because actually you're going to lose a ton of coins. That's where you'd go sell using Futbin prices, because you'd be making a ton per card. You know that the Futbin price isn't going to be way off. No one's going to be mislisting them, and it won't do, you know, if someone mislists on Futbin, it doesn't accord by that. It accords by the general Futbin price, so you won't get finessed by that as well. Of course, as part of this as well, you've got the opportunity to automatically sell them, which is what we're doing right now. If we go over to our transfer list, you can see my coins have gone up and down throughout this experience. Now, of course, we're currently on a 2.5k profit. We're doing very, very well. So 2.5k in 2 minutes. In 10 minutes, that is 10k. So that is literally perfect. 2.5 minutes, 2.5. We are literally doing 10k every 10 minutes, which is absolutely banging. Now, we're going to pause this for a moment. Obviously, we pop over here, we click stop. We'll go over to our transfers. You can see we're selling 4. We've already had Nketiah sell. Brilliant. So once again, we're up in the game. We can go back into the sniping bot and make more coins. What you can do as well, which I think is absolutely brilliant, is we've got all of these SBCs here. This would take me maybe 40 minutes to do myself. A little bit of time, probably a bit of time wasted if we're being honest. If I go over to the Arsenal versus Tottenham, we click start challenge and solve SBC, you've got options here. So the SBC solver says it's going to cost me 6k. If I click use club players, it will use the players from my club from that solution. And this is a solution direct from Futbin. Now I can click go above Futbin price if needed. What that means is if the Futbin price of a player is 700 coins, but he can only be bought for a K, the bot will buy him for a K. Now, of course, in that scenario, if the player is 2k, it'll buy him for 2k. So you have to check what these players are going for if you're going to do that. But what I usually do is just pop use club players, choose the method like this. It will fill out the solution. It'll buy all the players it can. And let's say there's a player that's meant to be 700. It's going for a K. I haven't ticked that box. What it will do is fill that in as a concept. So what I can do is go out and snipe that player myself, take a little bit of time, or go out and do it on the sniping bot section rather than do it on the SBC filler. Now, what is good about this is when you're doing a ton of SBCs at once, or when we're near sort of the mid periods of the game, or even in a month or so's time, when you've got big SBCs to be doing, you just got to constantly buy players. You just hop on here and do it. You know, if it's an SBC that you only really need to buy like 86 rated players, so it's not about the player, it's just about has to be high rated. It just does it for you. It saves you a lot of time, and time is money, and you can be spending that time watching some TV while this is doing it in the background. You can literally go and watch a movie. I mean, knowing me, Disney Plus at the minute, I've been watching the Ashoka series. I don't know about you guys. I can go watch an episode of Ahsoka, make 100k during that time, and I don't have to do anything. And then now I can go and buy myself a lovely informed left back from PSG, the sexy lady who has got an inform, and I'll have it in my team before anyone else. And realistically, guys, right now is the prime time to do this, because the reality is, in a couple weeks, what we're going to be looking at is absolute soaring player prices. Right now is the cheapest they're going to be. So if you want to get players cheap, you're in the right place. What you've also got, another feature which I think is pretty crazy, you've obviously got the sniping bot, you've got the auto bidder as well. So you can mass bid and you can mass list the players. So that's pretty crazy. I'm not really a bidder. We've got the auto bidder beta. We can obviously put the same sort of things in and you'd be looking at the same situation. I don't bid a lot, but put the same filter in. We could go and do the Arsenal filter, maybe bidding at 1.6k, obviously maybe bidding a little bit more, because obviously you're bidding, it's going to be a little bit more. What we're going to do is I'm going to leave this on for a minute or so, just on the basis of seeing what we're going to get. I'll leave it on for 5 minutes. We'll come back and see where we're at. So guys, we've had to stop it at 4,220 coins profit because we're at 500 coins. We've done 5 minutes, so very good profit for that amount of time, but I've ran out of coins. Now, of course, if we go over to the transfers and the selling section, what you will see is I've got rid of Tomiyasu and Zinchenko, I think there. We've also got Vieira, Zinchenko, White, Rowe. We've got a ton up right now, so we've got a lot of 1.8. I think I've got 2 at 1.7 there. What we will be doing is just waiting for these guys to sell, and then, of course, we are going to go back in and make a ton more coins. If you have a look at what we actually got a lot of these for, a lot of them are like 1.6s, 1.5s. You've got some 800s in there. We even got a 500 with Nketiah, which is absolutely brilliant. Some of these have obviously got brilliant snipes. Some of them are just more standard, but it's because of the filter we popped in. Now you can pop any filter in. You can do heroes, you can do qualities, you can do multi-quality, which is absolutely insane. You can go over to the sniping bot and you can select 2 rarities, which I think is crazy because you can't do that in any other way. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.